Check, check. Does this work? Thumbs up. Awesome. Thanks, folks. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here. Get to be on stage with the Queen, so it's really, really pumped. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about privacy. I know Nick kicked some of this off previously, announcing AvaCloud, and excited to dig in a little bit here. So we'll cover a little bit around the AvaCloud privacy protocol. Why is it important? What are some of the significant innovations here? We'll talk a little bit around the importance of privacy. Why do we do this? Why do we see this as a big differentiator? We'll get into translating privacy into adoption. So cover a few use cases, some key things to highlight, and then talk about where do we see things going in the future? What's next? Awesome. So, obviously, what is it? It's a revolutionary privacy product with a seamless combination of multiple privacy-enhancing technologies, or PETs. So it's fully confidential, meaning transaction amounts and balances stay hidden. It's anonymous, meaning that sender and receiver addresses are hidden. It's auditable. So that's a key thing here when we're thinking about institutional government adoption, right? And then beyond that, it increases the ability for atomic payments. So previously, when you look at other privacy protocols, you do a transaction, you then have to come and claim that as a receiver. With this protocol, you send a transaction, balances are updated immediately. Some of the key things here to highlight, we have this idea of a shared state with trusted counterparties. Traditionally, transparency was the basis of trust, but with cryptographic guarantees, privacy and trust no longer need to be at odds. Always on infrastructure, blockchains run 24/7, 365, enabling faster settlement, better uptime, high throughput. Interoperability, public chains offer a shared standard, reducing fragmentation and improving data hygiene across various systems. And programmability. So smart contracts automate recurring financial agreements, reducing the overhead and boosting scalability. Up until now, we saw that these benefits are huge, but to Nick's point, it put blockchains into the friend zone. Businesses couldn't afford taking the risk, leaving sensitive data from counterparties, balances, transactions, all public on chain, but obviously changes that. So, what is it? A decentralized payment network that enables performant payments, flexible deployments, and full spectrum privacy. So, high performance. It obviously delivers sub-second proof generation and fully atomic transactions. That means fast, seamless payments without sacrificing privacy or UX. Flexible deployments. So previously, businesses have turned to private chains as a way of protecting some of those pain points that we talked about just a few minutes ago. Private chains still introduce a risk, right? If there's a bad actor in your network and they leak that data, that information is then public. Obviously is unique where it can be deployed on both public and private networks so that you can get the best of both worlds by having your controlled validator set or keeping it totally permissionless and still maintaining all of the privacy-preserving features that you look for. Full spectrum privacy. So I hit on a few of these already. Auditability, sender-receiver, anonymity, confidentiality, atomicity. So these are incredibly important when we think about what is the future of on-chain payments and on-chain finance. So what does this unlock? So for individuals, true privacy over their financial lives, like hiding portfolio allocations and spending habits. For businesses, protection of proprietary data, trade relationships, and financial information, ensuring that they keep their competitive edge while still getting all of the performance optimizations of launching a project on chain. So Odyssey makes this secure, private, scalable payments on public blockchains finally possible. So with this comes an administration model, token controls, audit transactions, and manage users. So as you move towards tokenizing real-world assets, issuing stablecoins, and supporting government-backed tokens, compliance becomes non-negotiable. Odyssey's admin module gives institutions the tool they need to stay compliant from day one, so they can manage their token supply, audit transactions, and apply optional user controls, all with an easy-to-use interface. Why does this matter? We're entering a new phase of blockchain adoption, moving from experimentation to real-world finance. To get there, privacy and compliance have to work together. They can no longer be at odds. Odyssey makes that easy, giving businesses a compliant, privacy-first foundation to build on. Here, you get to see the white-labeled wallet app. Social login, custom branding, fast and seamless. Add your tokens, launch your own version of this so that you can gain adoption and take advantage of the payments network. Point of sale application. So as part of a payments network powered by Odyssey, merchants can take advantage of one of the first fully decentralized point of sale systems. Imagine a state-issued token offering where local merchants receive extra incentives for accepting the state-issued token, such as tax benefits or increased yield to maintain treasury. The first barrier to entry will be giving merchants the ability to accept payments at point of sale. So you need to create that double-sided network that creates the adoption for users to leverage the token as well as for businesses to take advantage of the various mechanisms that it offers. Now any business can become a Web3 business without even realizing it. Finally, a developer toolkit. So if you don't need something off the shelf, you want to build something more custom, we'll offer those tools for you so that you can embed Odyssey into your application. This would come in the form of SDKs to enable checkout, methods of issuing and managing tokens. So all of this right at your fingertips to enable developer adoption right out of the gate. Interoperable, simple app integration, and crypto payments embedded right into your application. So the importance of privacy. We've talked a little bit around what these things are. So confidentiality, obfuscated balances and transaction amounts, anonymity, hidden sender and receiver addresses, auditability, the ability to have allocated addresses that can decrypt transactions and view all of the public data. It's atomic, so you get your balances updated immediately. And then it's scalable. So this doesn't require heavy-duty hardware. You don't have to invest a ton in the machines that you're running. It scales with the chain that you're already running on any EVM-compatible chain. So you may be thinking, isn't it enough just to hide the sender and receiver information or just to make payments confidential? The answer is no. If we want real adoption to unlock the next phase of blockchain growth, we need to address the core blockers facing business and consumers today. And that's where each one of these items becomes critically important. So confidentiality. No one wants to hide or make public their bank account information or their stock portfolio makeup. It's critical to have that be hidden and confidential just for you as a user. Anonymity. For businesses, the counterparties that you interact with, that gives you your competitive edge. You don't want to leak in trade finance or supply chain who you're interacting with because you want to maintain that strategic value. Atomic transactions. You know, when you pay for tea at a shop, we're in the UK of course, the merchant expects their balance to be updated instantly. Most privacy protocols struggle here, requiring multi-step processes to see their balances get updated. Merchants want that availability of funds, so that they can better manage their treasury. Auditability. If blockchains are going to become the secure compute layer for modern finance, we need to be working with compliance and have compliance without compromise. Institutions and governments need assurance that transactions can be audited when necessary without breaking the promise of privacy that you give to your users. And finally, scalability. Today, we see a lot of privacy protocols out there. They leverage additional machines that are high cost. The protocol needs to be able to stay gas efficient and support high throughput payment use cases. This is why we built AvaCloud to deliver confidentiality, anonymity, atomic transactions, auditability, and scalability. So here, just to give you a flavor of what else is out there in the market, you can see other competitive privacy protocols between other privacy-enabling blockchains as well as other privacy-enabling tokens. So obviously, it is compatible with an EVM. So that means it can be deployed on any Avalanche L1, whereas if you go and look at other protocols such as Monero or Aztec, they require a custom programming language. So from a business perspective, it means one, your existing solutions that are deployed on other networks are not just a simple copy and paste. It also means two, from a business perspective, your ability to source talented resources is going to be that much harder. So here, just to show, again, like that comparison between all of the different options that are out there and how AvaCloud delivers on these promises. So, translating privacy into adoption. So this is where we start to explore some of the use cases that we think are going to be critical in the future. So, payments. I love payments. I come from a payments background. This is near and dear to my heart. You look at where payments are going, stablecoin total supply growth has increased 63%. And in fact, stablecoin trading volume has exceeded Visa with 35 million in the past year. 35 trillion, sorry. It just shows the big opportunity for payments, especially when you start to think about now, what can we do with privacy-preserving payments? So today, they offer a poor UX for crypto payments. It's in non-optimal infrastructure. With AvaCloud, you can simplify retail purchases with the simple point-of-sale application. Today, challenges, merchants take on the majority of the fee burden. Now, you can really realize some of the benefits that blockchains offer by disintermediating the existing payment Goliaths that are out there. Privacy lacks performance needed for common payment use cases. So this is where we showed that previous slide around the comparison. Now we can have high throughput payments that are needed when you talk about card networks and things at scale. So payroll. Stablecoin, this is an important one as you start to think about how do we distribute payments more effectively on chain with real use cases. Payroll is an exciting one. Today I don't think anyone would really want to reveal their salary, their bonuses, all of that on chain. It's an immediate use case for privacy-enabled payments. You keep all of your compensation details and identifying information private, meeting compliance and AML requirements. Typically, micropayments are too costly. That's why you don't see gig worker adoption and things like that using ACH or wire. But now, leveraging crypto, you can take advantage of that while keeping everything confidential and anonymous. And then enterprises risk reputational exposure if they have too much public information on chain. DeFi. So this is one that we're really excited about. It's one that we got a lot of questions about when we launched EERC. So obviously can start to be that bridge to bring more institutional finance adoption on chain. It enables anonymous DeFi so that now people can engage with any dApp with anonymous transactions. So previously, there's regulatory scrutiny, which adds pressure to existing privacy-enabled DeFi protocols. Now with Avacy, you can have anonymous transactions with the DEX, but then if you need to meet regulatory requirements, you can keep that still auditable. For institutional investors, having the traceability of public addresses reveals alpha of potential trading strategies. By having anonymous addresses and anonymity as part of your transactions, it gives you that edge and helps you keep that alpha. And then finally, you can start to think about use cases around DAO and governance voting that is enabled now with anonymous transactions. Government-backed tokenization. This is where we get really excited because it's purpose-built for this. Existing token protocols don't offer the fine-tuned controls needed by central banks or governments. So this is where you can start to think about revoke and freeze capabilities to meet government requirements. Today, there exists conflicting requirements of public traceability and personal financial privacy. Here, if you trust your government, that means that you can also leverage both of these together. You get privacy as well as auditability. And then finally, like we talked about, high availability and throughput. And this solves some of those challenges. So where are we going in the future? For AvaCloud, we think about some of these key domains as areas that we want to support. So obviously here is addressing payments, it's addressing institutional finance. Where we go next, and we start to think about how can we support federated learning with AI, or secure compute, so you have all of your encrypted data on a shared blockchain. And then finally, identity. How do you keep your identity private on chain and have a universal ID that you can carry with you throughout your day-to-day? These are areas that we're starting to explore, but obviously is just the starting point here. So we started with EERC, now we have Avacy, and then who knows what's next. Thank you.